Hi, I'm Katie Adelman, Director of Content and Communications with the Rochester Downtown Alliance, here to bring you our first feature in our Community Spotlight series. They highlight a different person or group making an impact, collaborating with their neighbors, and innovating as Rochester responds to COVID-19. Overall, these features are meant to offer uplifting messages about positive things happening in our downtown Rochester community. Let's take a look at the first Community Spotlight feature. Welcome to Community Spotlight series. Joining me is Ryan from RAEDI. Hi, Ryan, and thank you for taking the time to talk today.
Hi, Katie.
All right, so RAEDI is kind of the administrator of the city's loan program. Would you briefly describe how you're serving as a resource to the business community during this time of COVID-19?
Yes, thanks for asking. Rochester Area Economic Development has been around since 1985 to help grow our businesses and keep the existing ones here, create new opportunities. This is obviously a unique time. And so our role has kind of morphed into being the so-called expert on the funds, the loan funds. And as part of that, we're administrating the City of Rochester's emergency fund they put together. For those that don't know, last Monday, the City Council designated $250,000 to be created into a program. We're helping to try to bridge the gap, because what's happening is we think that the real dollars obviously are going to come from the federal level. When you're talking $2 trillion in stimulus package, there's the dollars. The unfortunate thing is they're going to take weeks to get out. And we're recommending to people apply for the SBA's emergency fund. That's going to have really good dollars. It's up to $2 million per business, working capital dollars, but the process is going to take 3 to 4 weeks to get approved. Then the dollars come after that. Our funds, and now the state of Minnesota is doing something very similar to what Rochester's doing, is to help bridge that gap until you can get those federal dollars and we can see more of what's coming out of this package. Because of course, until it's passed, we don't know exactly what's in it. Right. And so RAEDI's role has kind of been collecting the information around the assistance, and then trying to push also, if you're working with employees and trying to keep them on, get connections to the unemployment system through the state of Minnesota. If you can keep some employees on and try to use the shared work program, that's a good program too, instead of having to lay everybody off. If you can utilize that program, and then other resources as they become known, because this is changing daily and it's just such a unique situation.
Absolutely. And just to ask a follow-up question, can local businesses apply for that city loan program right now, or is there an open deadline?
Yep. Yeah, it's open right now. The deadline, it closes next Friday evening. That program, again, it's only $250,000, so there's not a lot of money there. It is capped at up to $25,000 per business. It's also capped where there's no interest, no payments until 90 days after the emergency declaration is terminated. So it's very flexible in that case. If you pay it back within 6 months, the interest is waived. So it kind of becomes free money. So it's a nice resource there. The state, again, I mentioned that earlier, the state has created a program very similar. Theirs is capped at 35,000, but obviously they've got 30 million where we've got 250. So while we can do some work locally, we are going to be trying to push some of those programs through the feds and the state, because they've got bigger pots of money than what we have available.
All right. Well, thank you. So is there an expected timeline of when businesses, if they apply and receive those funds, when they can expect that?
Yeah, my understanding is that application period will close next Friday. The committee that's reviewing those will review them starting over the weekend, early into the following week, and that announcements and disbursements will be coming the end of that week, early into the following. So we're looking at middle of April. Hopefully we can have those dollars out.
Okay. And any updated information should certainly you guys will have, as well as RDA will have it on their website.
Yeah. We both have, obviously our COVID tabs out there, and we push a lot of people through. The chamber's doing a really good job of collecting information. So we've got their tab, the state of Minnesota deeds tab, the SBA's, and then the loan fund. So those are kind of our 4 key tabs right now, and we keep updating that daily.
All right, perfect. Thanks, Ryan. I appreciate that. Amid all this kind of transition and having to adapt. How do you persevere amid everything that's going on?
I think it's a good question. And I think for me, it's the idea that we're trying to help. Um, this again is such a unique situation that when you're kind of stuck at home and you're not having all that interaction with people like you normally do, the idea that helps me get up every morning is to say, okay, we're trying to help. And I want to make that point to our small businesses and area businesses, is that there's frustration and we get it. It's a difficult time. There's mandates coming that the governors, these businesses are closed and these ones aren't because they're essential. We understand that. And what I've been telling them is, let's communicate. And if you're asking about assistance with your rent, talk to your landlord. If you're worried about loans, talk to your banker. Communicate with your accounting person or bookkeeper to talk about things that are being done at the IRS. There's some deferments there. And the other thing is, if you've got solutions, let me know. And that's something that's important, because we're trying to create programs and make these flexible, but we might be missing something. And so let us know. And I always like to say, other than a blank check, because everybody would love a blank check. Let us know if there's things out there that really could make a difference. And besides this loan program, I know that there's the city council's reviewing some things about expenses and fees, trying to figure out if there's a way to waive some or defer some. Those things are being worked on, but please reach out and let myself know, or Kathleen at the chamber, or others at RDA about, here's what we really think could help us, because then we can try to push those things up the ladder through city administration, county administration, elected officials to make a difference. Because again, none of us have been through this. It's totally unique. Let's try to work together, because I think together, whether it's our organization or all of the organizations that I've previously mentioned in this interview, we're here to try to help, and we want to help you get through that and make you better when you're coming out of this. So the positive thing is, we're in this together. Let's try to work together to figure out if we can how we get through this. And let's get through the other side and start focusing on the recovery. And that the ultimate goal is that there's going to be a recovery. And that's what makes me happy, is that this is bad right now, but there will be a recovery. And let's get there, and let's help these businesses continue to be existing and growing.
Yeah, so just one last question. If anybody, out there owns a business and is looking for support, either from RAEDI or through that city's loan program that you mentioned, where should they start?
I would start at our website, raedi.com. RAEDI. It's RAEDI, but it's spelled differently, obviously, because it's Rochester Area Economic Development. Our contact information is out there. Shoot me an email. Right now, with the way things are and the way life is, email is the easiest way to connect. But we are able to be contacted through email or call. If you call our system, leave a voicemail. Those voicemails are being forwarded into our systems so that we can all get them. Leave a phone number if you want to talk, and I'll connect back with you, and we'll try to, myself or someone on our staff will try to work with you to try to get you through the process.
Absolutely. And then if there are any updates, I'm sure our two organizations, as well as others, will have that. And we'll also put links with this as well. So if there's any other thoughts that you'd like to share, Ryan?
No, I think as I've been telling my team members, it's a difficult thing it becomes daunting if you think about it overall. But I just say, one step at a time. Let's take this one step at a time and try to just keep moving this forward. But let's just one day at a time and just try to check things off as we go.
Absolutely. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for your time, Ryan. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Katie.